guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I have been just having a heck of a week, man. Like, my kiddo got sick, so I was taking care of my kiddo, so I was out of commission, and then finally, you know, because I got him a second opinion because the other doctor was an idiot, he basically had the flu. And so he's doing way better, guys. Thanks for asking. I really, really appreciate it, guys. So many kisses to you guys. But I was like crazy. I was just feeling nuts because my phone was blowing up all weekend. I was like, oh my God, what is going on? Like, it just seemed like total chaos, guys. And you know me, on this channel, we love chaos. So I was just like, darn it, I missed it all. So now today we're actually here live. We are watching Not Tina Kotex as well as Tommy for Trump and Ground Zero PDX. Of course, you know how we love our ICE protests. So that's kind of what we're getting into today. So you guys hit me up, let me know what's up, and we'll go ahead and jump right into it.
They're literally celebrating in Iran, dancing in the street, and you guys are out here protesting like idiots. Free Iran of 47 years of oppression. They're literally celebrating in Iran, dancing in the street, and you guys are out here protesting like idiots. Free Iran of 47 years of oppression. They're literally celebrating in Iran, dancing in the street, and you guys are out here protesting like idiots. Free Iran of 47 years of oppression. They're literally celebrating.
That's going nuts, guys. Okay. Oh, it sounds like it's a pre-recording that he's playing. That's some craziness. Yeah, guys, the Iranians were celebrating just like the Venezuelans. They were so thankful to Trump and the Republicans for setting them free. You had women taking off their hijab and just dancing in the street, you know? Crazy, crazy. Jeez, they're still with that.
Come on, buddy, I'm trying to work.
Jeez. can't believe they're still out here protesting for any of this stuff. It's just tripping me out. Jeez. I'm pretty sure these people don't have jobs, so they wouldn't be paying for it anyways. Wow, that was totally off cue.
I see Tupac over there with Tommy.
Let's see what Arturo is saying. Now, you guys can go to his channel, the Daily Discord with Arturo, and subscribe and tell him Harley sent ya. So let's see what's up with him. Oh, wait.
That audio is fantastic.
1 second, guys. Got to add him. That would be funny. I should have did that. Like, dang it. I got you. Take a second, guys. I apologize. Been more prepared. Okay, guys. I got it. There we go. Jeez. He's so funny.
Let's go.
Play ball. But yeah, let's go back, Tommy. So he was playing it. So let's see what's up with him and what's going on. I think at this point he's just trolling them.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
Antifa's doxing Tommy again. They know where he's been. Just one way with no delay to move them out of Portland way. Yo, let's go. Oh, no, no. Doxing, dox. You can't dox. Yo, let's go. Oh, no. Doxing, you can't dox. Yo, let's go. And they on the streets. Antifa and pig.
American service members reporting that close lane. How does the
Being here, and please feel free to sit. So before we begin this important ceremony, and there's no ceremony that can be much more important than this, let me provide a brief update on Operation Epic Fury. Today, the United States military continues to carry out large-scale combat operations in Iran to eliminate the grave threats posed to America by this terrible terrorist regime. Following our obliteration of Iran's nuclear program in Operation Midnight Hammer a short while ago, we warned Iran not to make any attempt to rebuild at a different location because they were unable to use the ones that we so powerfully blew up. But they ignored those warnings and refused to cease their pursuit of nuclear weapons. In addition, the regime's conventional ballistic missile program was growing rapidly and dramatically, and this posed a very clear, colossal threat to America and our forces stationed overseas. The regime already had missiles capable of hitting Europe, and our bases, both local and overseas, would soon have missiles capable of reaching our beautiful America. The purpose of this fast-growing missile program was to shield their nuclear weapon development and make it extraordinarily difficult for anyone to stop them from making these highly forbidden by us nuclear weapons. We were the ones that were complaining. We were the ones that wanted it stopped, but everybody was behind us. They just didn't have the courage to say so. An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat to the Middle East, but also to the American people. Our country itself would be under threat, and it was very nearly under threat. I was very proud to have knocked out the Iran nuclear deal by President Barack Hussein Obama. That was a horrible, horrible, dangerous document. They would have had nuclear weapons 3 years ago, and they would have used them.
I don't give a
But
fuck.
I'm not let that happen.
I don't give a fuck.
For almost 47
That's the only
years,
time you
this
can act tough is
regime
when you got numbers, right?
has been attacking the
Otherwise, you're
United
not
States
tough
and
at all,
killing
bro.
Americans every time you see someone with missing arms and legs,
How it
or a
is.
face that's been absolutely shattered violently. It was almost certainly caused by an Iran roadside bomb. They were put there by General Soleimani, who was the father of the roadside bomb. Very proudly, he thought that I terminated him in my first term. This was our last best chance.
He's about to assault me. Okay, bro. Okay.
Eliminate the intolerable threats posed by
Like,
this
calm down, bro.
sick
Calm
and
down.
sinister regime. And they are indeed sick and sinister. Our objectives are clear. First, we're destroying Iran's missile capabilities, and you see that happening on an hourly basis, and their capacity to produce brand new ones, and pretty good ones they make. Second, we're annihilating their neighbor who's knocked out already 10 ships. They're at the bottom of the sea. Third, we're ensuring that the
Like, go
world's
ahead,
number
spray
one
him, spray him. This way he
sponsor of
learns.
terror can never obtain a nuclear weapon. Never going to have a nuclear weapon. I said that from the beginning. They're never going to have a nuclear weapon. They were on the road to getting one legitimately through a deal that was signed foolishly by our country. And finally, we're ensuring that the Iranian regime cannot continue to arm, fund, and direct terrorist armies outside of their borders. And we thought we had a deal, but then they backed out. And they came back, and we thought we had a deal, and they backed out. I said, you can't deal with these people. You got to do it the right way. Today, we grieve for the 4 heroic American service members who have been killed in action, and send our love and support to their families. In their memory, we continue this mission with ferocious, unyielding resolve to crush the threat this terrorist regime poses to the American people, and a threat indeed it is. We have the strongest and most powerful by far.
He's following me around like a lost puppy dog.
And we will easily prevail. We're already substantially ahead of our time projections, but whatever the time is, it's okay. Whatever it takes, we will always, and we have right from the beginning, we projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that.
He's always stalking me.
Somebody said today, they said, oh, well, the president wants to do it really quickly. After that, he'll get bored. I don't get bored. There's nothing boring about this. Do you agree with that? I don't think there's anything, Mr. General. I think there's nothing boring about it. Somebody actually said from the media, I think he'll get bored after about a week or two. No, we don't get bored. I never get bored. If I got bored, I wouldn't be standing here right now. I guarantee you that, to go through what I had to go through. Yeah. We also projected 4 weeks to terminate the military leadership, and as you know, that was done in about an hour, so we're ahead of schedule there by a lot. But please join me in thanking every American service member who bravely is standing in harm's way. They really are incredible, and I just want to thank you. We have a lot of them right here. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. We have a lot of great service members here with us, too, in this beautiful building. Isn't it beautiful? We're adding on to the building a little bit. We're improving the building. See that airstrike? When that comes down right now, you see a very, very deep hole. But in about a year and a half from now, you're going to see a very, very beautiful building. And there's your entrance to it right there. In fact, it looks so nice, I think I'll save money on the doors, because it can't get more beautiful than that. I picked those drakes in my first term. I always like gold, but I think we can save a lot of money. I just saved curtains, but it will be spectacular. It'll be the most beautiful ballroom. I believe it, because I built many a ballroom. I believe it's going to be the most beautiful ballroom anywhere in the world. And when you hear all that hammering out there, you know why the First Lady is not thrilled exactly. She said, will the pile...
Wow, that's loud, bro. Okay, let's go to someone else.
Pretty sure that's her, yeah.
He's your president. He's your president.
Hey, Angela Murillo, why don't you do something to make Portland great again? Businesses are leaving in droves because
Why are you
of socialist
protesting freedom?
policies. Why are you here to support socialism?
Okay.
Why do you support socialism in
Iranian people
Portland?
are celebrating. They're so happy. They're free now. Why aren't they here? There's no Iranians here. There's not one Iranian here. That's because they're celebrating. They're so thankful. Half of them are in mourning. One Iranian.
You guys celebrating the freedom of the Iranian women.
One Iranian here. I don't see one.
How would you know?
I have eyes in my head.
Like, you don't see one, blah, blah, blah.
Donald Trump freed Iran. 47 years of oppression of women. Trump freedom.
They're not. That's sad.
Shane, Angelita Maria's here. City council member Angelita
Where?
Maria.
Oh,
The
snap.
DSA one.
Do you know
She's
where?
wearing a red coat.
A red
She
coat.
might have left.
Someone else has man. Trump was just following the nuclear proliferation treaty. We're starting back in the 40s, got to keep the nukes. The nuclear weapon.
I don't know if this guy's drunk or what. You know, he keeps trying to attack Tommy, and they keep pulling him off.
Because they're violent. That's all they know, man.
International treaty law. Deal with it, you fucking crazy. Trump is now the world's fucking law enforcement officer. Deal with it, bitches.
You choose it, motherfucker.
Trump is a man of peace. He's bringing peace to Iran. He's bringing freedom to Iran.
Fuck
He's
you,
bringing
freedom.
democracy to Iran.
These people.
Is it not true?
Wow. Is she cackling like a witch? It's like, girl.
Things are breaking up here. Now we just got the people who want to fight that are staying.
That's pretty typical. They think they know better than the people they try to represent. You should check with the Iranians.
Looks like a big ass crowd left when facts and truth started getting spread.
A dead
Go ahead.
dictator is a good thing.
A dead dictator.
Smaller than your fucking man clip.
Ayatollah.
Fuck your international law.
Not as small as your fucking man clip, woman. Or at least I can't see your apple. So I don't know if you have a banana. Do you guys can you define what a woman is?
Anytime.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's protests over. That's just going to be fights.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going to get my battery out here.
I mean, the triangle is pretty much emptied out.
Oh, it was the protest of the bombing of Iran. But like half the Iranian people are celebrating because now they have freedom, and so
Yep.
they're like,
Yep.
they're celebrating in the streets, and they're saying, don't go there. So
But we got
conflict of interest.
Tupac over there. You know, he likes to get into it.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah. And some old white guy who's like probably drunk.
Oh yeah. Sorry guys, I'm getting my battery. There we go. When I find out what they're doing, are they going to go to ICE?
They might, but I offered you a.
Yeah. If you want to go now, it's okay. I want to wait like maybe 20 more minutes.
Oh really? You think we have 20 more minutes here? We might. Yeah, you never know.
Yep. Look at this.
What time is it?
They're already starting. I can't tell on my phone.
Yeah.
Maybe I can.
6:25.
Oh, this was a short one. Oh, he's skinny.
If I'm on that side, then I'm on
It's well over back.
Yeah, I did.
Do you know who that is?
Oh, I can't remember his name.
Is that Axel?
I think it is.
Is it? What did I just hear?
Somebody just threw a bottle at us.
At
Of course
us?
he did.
Well, that's not cool.
It's this guy right here. Who thinks he's gonna get in a fight? Axel's gonna fight him.
Hmm?
You know, he just threw that water ball at me.
No, I don't. I was wondering. But
You're nobody.
Hey, go back up, public property.
Yo, get this thing off. Trump was right about freeing Iran from a tyrannical Islamist who oppressed women
How you
for
doing,
over
brother?
47 years. And now they're not oppressed no more. They can dance in the streets with their hair down. Trump freed Iran, yes he did. That's why they're celebrating in Iran right now, right? That's why they're celebrating in Iran right now, right? Iranians are celebrating. Trump is the GOAT. Trump is the GOAT. That's what you guys do. Did you guys know transgenders kill themselves in way higher numbers than anybody else? But
Wow.
as much as you can.
How you doing, buddy?
No, thank you. I'm not like that.
It's this was not bad as events go. I only had one guy try to block me with a sign. You know,
I got hit in the face 3 times.
Wow.
with
That's
mace.
crazy.
Oh no, with signs.
Oh yeah, yeah. They like to do that.
Oh, here's a different world, dude. This Drug Town, USA.
Music always soothes the savage beast, man. Since you love playing with sticks.
We got Tupac
We're so
here.
weird.
What the fuck?
2 white gay dads saved his life, gave him a good life, and this is how it turned out. How sad is that? You got 2 freaking white dads that love him to death. My dad didn't love me. I turned out all right. You got 2 of them still fucked up.
You don't hate me, you hate your dad.
He's still an asshole.
Mark can only fight folks smaller than him. No. Do you still have an actual sticker? Thank you. If it's not too much, I think I'm going to take a picture of it and make like a poster of it, so, or a t-shirt of it. Pussy boy. Thank you. That might be the only one of these. Pussy fat boy.
I don't care. Take my picture. Hey, how's your white dance? How's your white dance, bitch?
Sorry, these people just like to fight. It's crazy. Like, they're so not serious people.
Do you need a lighter? Speaker, do you need a lighter?
Let's give this guy some money here. Come on, Patriots, put some money in this guy's box.
I wonder if, what's his name is live. Raw Tactics, because that boy is feisty.
We're just reflecting what the liberals say to us.
I'm talking to the meth addict.
They won't listen. Hey, no. I'm trying to dig. You guys should really read about the Nuclear Proliferation Act. You didn't have nuclear power capability in the 40s. You don't get it today. And Iran signed it. Everything they're doing is against international treaties.
To honor America.
What's your name?
Stealth Gaming 76.
Oh,
Yeah.
not Tina.
Oh, nice to meet you, bro.
Yeah, nice to finally meet you.
Nice to have a fellow
one that's not worried about getting a parole violation for beating that dude's ass. Now he's hiding across the street. Hey, bro, I got a cute dog. Can I get some free food? I have a cute dog. Does that get me free food?
My dog guy. They're just doing their quack attacks. That's their way of protesting.
You guys hear that? There's 6 services.
They're like, we don't want to go. They said, I object.
We're gonna give liberals a beatdown like the American hockey team gave
Wow.
Canada. Hey, don't forget about George Washington and Lincoln. That's the bitch across the street. We pushed your bitch asses out of this area.
God bless America.
Go back to eating your turkey flavored tofu, bitch.
She was singing it.
We should give that guy a few bucks. I didn't have anything small. The guy playing all the Hendrix licks over there. He's playing Hendrix licks. He's cool. He's good. Yeah, I'm not giving him a 20. You know, I should bring ones with me. You know, never know
Give
when
him
I
money.
might need. You know,
You never know. No one
I
carries
might.
cash
There might be a protest at a strip club here. Never know. My girlfriend's not listening right now. It's just a joke. So did you watch the video that I sent you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like,
Wow.
whatever. I knew that they're going to clip so much of it. I thought if they were going to clip the worst parts, because there were some really bad parts. I was like, I can't believe my mouth.
And then they
should
put the
have talked
comments
so
up on
long.
the screen.
But I had so many people.
It's funny that these people met. I thought they knew each other. It's crazy. Like, what are you doing, bro? What's that?
Way to go. My eye is awesome. Thank you very much for coming to the rescue. These guys are amazing people. For those who don't follow Nico Oregon and not Peter Kotek, he's got the baddest ass setup of anybody.
Yeah, I still don't understand.
Yeah, thanks for doxing my setup there, Iceman. Are you headed? Don't.
Maybe. Docs, I know I'm bad at docs.
I'm gonna mute.
Yep, he's gonna mute. He's like, I'm really bad at this, guys.
You're a patriot now. You're a patriot. You always were.
The nice thing about YouTube is you can mute your mic. Well, you know, Tommy uses a web app called
Chachi needs some goggles. I'll put some on my
and
wish
some
list
other
for
people
him.
are thinking about using it. It's you got to pay.
Yeah,
for
I'm
it,
probably
it's
not gonna
cheap.
go to
It's like
ice. I gotta go take a shower and wash this
up
shit
to
off my
40
face.
a month for the pro version.
Oh, yeah?
But for the 17, you can stream to 3. Like you could Twitter, YouTube, and run all at the same time.
I'll give it to you next time.
All right.
Or I'll just hit you up and you can come grab it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you see what you see, but they're sending you from places.
We're gonna go this. We're gonna go this way.
Yeah.
I think.
All right, I'm gonna kill my stream.
There's not gonna be a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Are you up?
No, I'm scared the piss out of me.
All right, good job, you guys.
All right, everybody.
Next time.
Hey, thank you for watching. Appreciate the chat.
I love
Appreciate
you.
everybody
I don't know if
watching.
I'm gonna go to ICE tonight. There's really
Stealth gaming.
I might just go home and go live.
God bless America.
Yeah,
y'all have a good night. You guys have a good evening.
No, I'm gonna go this way.
All right, everybody. Hey, thank you for watching.
I'm gonna stay live for a minute.
Okay, so these people are pulling up. We'll see what's going on.
I love you, bro.
Remember that show?
I'll see you later. I'm probably just gonna end up going home.
He's got a new show.
I don't think I'm gonna go out there tonight. It's Monday.
There you go.
Yeah, Mondays are pretty like chill days.
Nah, I'm probably gonna go home and take a shower, and I might just do like a live from home for a little bit, and watch some videos on Iran or something. I love you, bro. Thank you for coming out here, bro.
And I have to say, it's wrong.
JT River.
Okay, I know I got it.
520503.
I got it.
Yeah, let me see. If you guys want to cash app him for the national anthem,
JT River 520503.
it's JT River 520503.
Yep.
So if you guys want to send him some cash apps for his patriotic music, go ahead and do it. It's JT River 520503.
Thanks.
Yeah, God bless you, bro.
Yeah, one puck's been
So
crashing.
Tommy's pulling
They're
up.
over there crashing
He's gonna
out.
go
Crashing
and
out.
I guess stream from his house. Let me see if I find some of the stuff for Iran. See, we'll kind of see what's up here.
Fuck you, bitch.
Hold on.
Yeah, I get so many looks with this hat. It's absolutely insane. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one, guys.
All right, you guys, I might see you in a little bit. I might go live for a little bit after I get out of the shower and get my how I feel. I'll make
Yep. All right. We're cutting off the live feed so we can go get
Yes.
dinner.
So most of these
So I
people are
appreciate everybody
pulling
in the
up.
chat. It's been quite a night. Had a little bit of craziness, but I feel like we handled that pretty well. And we got our message across for sure. That megaphone is insanely loud, so everybody hears it. Everybody hears it. So yep. Yeah, and someone got that spice pretty good. Laying hands on us. Yeah. When they swipe, he took Tommy's phone.
Yeah, my phone.
Yeah,
was
that's
so
what
hard
happened.
that it hit the fucking sign and went
Yeah.
in the street.
Yep.
And I'm like, just as much.
So yep, thank you guys. I appreciate it, Nathan.
Yeah, look at my helmet's full of
Thank you, John. Thanks for showing up, guys. Thank you, Justine. Thank you, RV. I don't believe we're going to ICE right now.
Yeah, they're not going. They already said.
But
I'm gonna see if I
thank
can
you, I
find
appreciate
some
it.
Iran live feeds. We can see what's up with that.
it's okay if you missed the saucing, you can rewatch it later. Okay.
So Somebody popped one of those things behind me, Adam, too.
That's, I heard something like it was.
Nico popped. Nico
did. Okay, good.
Yeah. Nico popped the shot.
One of those Kimber shots.
Yeah.
Damn, I heard it go boom. I was like, oh.
Yeah,
shit.
I was wondering. I'm like, what the hell was that?
I think that's what got Chachi and Chachi, what's his name?
Okay, guys, much love. I will talk to you guys later. Look forward to some more content. Peace out. You're welcome, Nathan.
So he's pulling up too. So most of the people that we tend to watch are pulling up.
When really, who is the biggest threat to U.S. people? It's this government here.
Of course it is. Of course it's the government.
In our city alone, with the LA fires, we have people who've lost their homes, and they still have to pay their mortgage on a burned down plot of land. And they have to figure out how they're gonna make ends meet after a devastating fire. Shame. In LA alone, I'm just keeping it very hyper-local, we had an occupation of ICE agents and National Guard in this city, attacking people for saying, we don't believe that you should get away with abducting innocent people. Shame
Okay,
on that.
lady. Okay.
We want
She's
ICE
so
officers
full of it.
ICE having one of a bigger budget than some militaries in other parts of the world.
We need that, especially after everybody they let in.
Ongoing campaign of trying to make other countries seem like a threat, when really the biggest threat is right here in our front yard. That's right. Yeah, Donald Trump, biggest threat even before his administration. Look back to even
I'm pretty sure
the past
he's
few
not
presidents,
the biggest
right?
threat.
Blood on their hands, whether it's the bloodshed in Gaza, whether it's the illegal coup and murdering of Gaddafi, whether it
Like,
with
shame!
Obama,
Shame
whether it's the illegal invasion of Iraq in 2003 under George Bush Jr. Like, we could keep naming these war criminals. And so with that, it's so important that we understand it's Trump right now, but it's not just Trump, it's not just the Republicans. The Democrats are just as complicit, sitting on their hands.
Shame! Shame the non-believers!
We need to mobilize, we need to keep mobilizing, and we need to build a viable movement in the thousands and in the millions so that we fight back and so that we win. And with that, I want to introduce our next speaker, Lalo Vargas, who's running for a statewide position for insurance commissioner with the people.
So we're gonna just shut her up because she's stupid.
Speaking of
we're gonna go to Arturo instead.
That the U.S. Embassy and Riyadh,
Make
Saudi
sure y'all
Arabia
go
was hit by
and
two
like and
drones.
subscribe to
A
his
third is
podcast.
apparently
It is
en
the
route
Daily
and
Discourse
could
with
strike at any
Arturo.
moment. And the embassy
And if you
is
happen
now
to go into his
issuing a
comments, tell him
shelter-in-place
Harley
for
sent you.
citizens in Saudi Arabia, as the U.S. government has put all citizens in the region on high alert and urged those in 14 different countries in the region to leave immediately. And
They basically asked Americans, get the hell out of there.
more than
Because
ever,
you're the targets.
really 9/11, the
Yep.
U.S. is on high alert for any attacks
'Tis
here on
true.
the homeland. The FBI is investigating that shooting in Texas and Austin for possible terror connections, where the 53-year-old Nigada Giagni was wearing a sweatshirt that said "Property of Allah." That might be a clue, and a T-shirt with the Iranian flag on it. He opened fire outside a bar in Austin this weekend, killing 2 and injuring 14. He's a naturalized citizen from Senegal. He was shot and killed by police, and they're still really trying to secure the motive for this. Meanwhile, there's a growing fear tonight about sleeper cells in the U.S.
For paying attention to any potentialities there. This is a former regime, a regime that seeks to export that ideology and try to sow terror. We're ready for that. We've seen these types of folks before, and the American people can rest assured that we're vigilant on that.
We're going to get to this issue of sleeper cells in the U.S., the threat to the homeland, in 1 second. But we're going to go to Chris Wecker, former FBI Assistant Director. Chris, I want you to chime in on this breaking news that we're getting. The drones that Iran has activated have been, to many, surprisingly lethal, but drone warfare has become really the go-to choice for regimes in the region, obviously in the Ukraine war as well. Your reaction to this news about the U.S. Embassy? We don't know anything about damage or injuries, loss of
Yeah,
life,
who's got the most drones?
but this is breaking right now.
Here, let me let's drop this video real quick.
As you mentioned,
Dustin White, thank you for the $2. Tell my wife I love her. Hi, Poopsies. Hey, Poopsies, your husband Dustin White loves you. Just want to let you know that. Poopsies. Airborne Moose, thank you for the $2. Thank you for another $2. The Ladybugs are taking your subs. That's exactly what they're doing. Those bastards. Andy, thank you for the $10, man. You said you're great, brother. Thank you, Andy. And Dr. J with the $5. Bro, you were doing great. Don't let the thought police get you down. Oh, they don't get me down. They can try, but then nobody gets me down. We just keep on pushing on. Let me see.
Welcome back in here to Live Now from Fox. I am Andy Mack. As this conflict in the Middle East continues to spiral, the President Donald Trump says the United States and their military has the capability to go even further beyond that 4 to 5 week time frame. The United States and Central Command saying they have struck some 1,200.
DK with another $10 said, Art said poopsies. Oh my, gonna make him say it again. Poopsies.
He's so weird sometimes.
These are some of the images.
This is in San Antonio. They're reacting to, or they're there for a shooting.
Pound Iran.
We're waiting on information on that.
The Ayatollah on Saturday. Tehran and its allies have hit back against Israel, neighboring Gulf states, and targets critical to the world's production of oil and natural gas. The intensity of the attacks and the lack of apparent exit plan set the stage for a prolonged conflict with far-reaching consequences.
And Bart, thank you for the $2 on Cash App. Tommy, the protest slayer.
Conversation, the director of the Missile Defense Project for the Center for Strategic and International Studies, Tom Carrico. Tom, thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox. And obviously, 48 hours into this, there are so many areas, targets that have been struck by the United States. What are you keeping your eye on? What has stood out so far?
Yeah, well, look, a couple things. There's been, as I said, over 1,000 targets hit within the first 24 hours. That's pretty remarkable. That was a function of the amount of spring-loaded force that had been put into the area, and of course a combination of U.S. and Israel working together. So far, U.S. and Israel. Perhaps some other folks will get involved. But a handful of things. Look, there's been a couple hundred ballistic missiles fired by Iran, and I think well over 1,000 drones.
So we're gonna go ahead and see what Agenda Free TV is saying about this.
Now, I don't know about, I mean, to be honest, that could be true. I don't know if part of it is political. I could see a world where a government says, hey, you know, it's not good for morale to have all these videos of sirens going off all day and explosions and people watching it and they're scared. So, I mean, I could see a government saying, let's find a reason to not have these videos on. I'm not saying Israel did that, but I'm not putting it past a government to say they think it's bad PR for the war effort. I don't know. Maybe it's a bit of both.
Okay. He's like, quiet. Guess that was his hot take on it.
People like you and I, like everyone here today,
that stood up, took to the streets, and made their voices heard.
Blah, 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 blah,
So
blah.
unlike the Democrats and Republicans, those of us in the Peace and Freedom Party, not only do we want you to vote in the midterms, we want you to vote with your feet.
Yeah, you guys definitely have to go vote. Early voting has opened up. So if you're from Illinois, you can go and vote. I don't like to push people to vote certain ways. I think the best thing you could do is look at the policies and see what aligns for you. Don't look at the letters behind their name. So don't look at the D or the R or red or the blue. Look at the policies. Now, as y'all know, I'm more right-leaning, so I'll more than likely vote like Republican, but I always do look at the policies because you also have independents there. You don't only just have Democrats there. So just look at what works for you guys, you know. But we definitely don't want Democrats to win because look at what they did so far, and once they get in power, yeah, they're going to be coming for blood. Okay, bro. It's all old people. Like they scanned it and you're like, old person, old person.
All right, everyone, give it up for our last speaker, Lalo Vargas. And folks, you've heard it explained brilliantly and beautifully today that our struggles are connected, that the struggle for full rights for all immigrants is directly tied to this struggle to stop the war machine, that our struggle for universal health care, for education for all, these are directly tied to the war machine that takes $1 trillion per year from our pockets. Make some noise if you have come out in the fight for immigrant rights at some point. That's right. And like Lalo said, we learned from the struggles of Minnesota that what we need is a mass mobilization. We need a nationwide shutdown to stop the war machine and stop the deportation machine.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, bro.
So I want to invite up an amazing speaker next, someone who has been in the struggle for immigrant rights, someone who has helped build an organization.
Like, these people are so like stupid.
Up in the valley, I want to introduce Paul Ramirez from Valley Defensa. Say it once, say it twice. The people will abolish ICE. Say it once, say it twice. The people will abolish ICE.
I mean, they won't.
Another war of aggression on the sovereign nation of Iran. Shame! We have seen again and again the violence of this administration to not only attack people abroad, but even attack people right here at home. They started off the year with the attacks on Venezuela, the kidnapping of their president.
It's not their president.
The murder and kidnapping of our community members here at home. How do we feel about that? It is clear that this system, this administration, this government is committed to violence.
Okay, bro.
The violence of separating our families, kidnapping our community members, denying us health care, denying us a right to vote, denying us education.
Yeah, y'all don't need that. If you're illegal, you don't get that for free, bro.
Attacks on these immigrant communities, and we're not going to stand for it any longer.
Oh my God, can someone deport him, please?
The people understand this. They understand that this system is violent. They understand that they're hell-bent on attacking our immigrant community members. And we're going to keep fighting and we're going to keep organizing until we win. We saw at the beginning of this year how they murdered people like Renee Good. They murdered people
I mean,
like
they didn't.
That is the violence that these ICE agents unleash on our communities every single day. And even while they're not on the clock, they murder community members like Keith Porter Jr. He was a father in the San Fernando Valley where I'm from, where they murdered him. A father. Shame. And we're not going to stand for it any longer. And that's clear because this administration has proven
again and again that they're going to keep unleashing this violence, but we know that the people are going to keep fighting it, resisting it, because we know it's unpopular. Everybody here, do we stand with our immigrant communities?
No.
Do we stand against ICE? Do we stand against war? So we have to fight anywhere this war rears its head, whether it's here at home or abroad. We learned a lesson from our friends in Minnesota. They shut it down to get ICE out of their communities.
And how'd that work out for them?
When Trump
Because they're still there.
into the streets of Minneapolis, the people fought back day in, day out. And even after they murdered
And ICE is still there.
members, were they scared? They organized. They organized something we haven't seen in decades. They organized a general strike. They showed us the way. That is the path forward.
The way.
That is our task ahead of us. If you
They
want
showed
to
us
shut down
the way.
the attacks of this administration, then we have to shut down our streets, shut down our schools, shut down our workplaces, shut down this economy. That is the power we have as working people. We are the ones that build everything. We are the ones that are teaching our kids in the schools. We are the ones that are paving our streets, cleaning up our streets.
Just waiting for him to like keep going, like, okay.
People in the hospitals. We're the ones that do the work every single day, and at any moment we can decide to end it. That is our power.
Is it though?
And then the administration recognized this. They had to make concessions with our movement. They removed Greg Bovino. They retreated hundreds of agents. And then after we shut it down again on January 30th, turned into a national movement, they announced the end of Operation Metro Surge.
Did they though?
That is the power of our movement. That we can get together, organize our workplaces, organize our schools, and build a movement to shut it down and show that we are not going to put up with this any longer. So in the same vein, as we fight, not just to end the war in our immigrant communities, we need to end and mobilize and shut it down to end this war abroad on Iran. It is clear the
I
effect
think
that the wars have on so many communities.
I think the people of Iran will disagree with
People
y'all.
don't just immigrate. It's not an easy decision to leave your country, leave everything behind and move to a new country. It takes so much sacrifice. And people do it because bombs are dropped in the community, because jobs are taken from their communities, because the same corporations, the same billionaires, the same companies, they attack our communities everywhere, and they force people to leave their homes. These wars are what create this immigration crisis. So we have to stand against war just as we stand with our immigrant community. How many people here participated in January 30th?
Not it.
How many people are going to commit to doing that once again? That is what it's going to take to end these wars. That's how we fought and won every single right that we have, from an 8-hour workday to the right to form a union to earning our civil rights.
I mean,
it has taken a mass movement.
I don't think that that's how that's won.
Of life to organize and to stay in the streets and shut things down, because they're not going to give these things to us out of the kindness of our hearts. It's going to take us demanding it, staying in the streets, fighting, organizing, and that's how we're going to win. Are we ready to win?
God.
So let's stay in the streets. We're not going to let these bombs continue to land in these countries. They explode right here at home too, affecting our families, affecting so many people. We need to commit to fight, and we need to commit to win. Thank you.
Are we ready to win? Are we ready to fight? Are we ready to win? Let's get it!
I don't think so.
LA to the Middle East. No justice, no peace. From LA to the Middle East.
I don't know about you guys, but sometimes their chants just get annoying.
No more
like yada yada.
far, we have had such a powerful list of speakers on this program today, and we have a few more coming. But it is truly so beautiful to look out into this crowd and see the diversity here. Me being Iranian, I know this isn't just about me and Iran. This struggle is connected to all of us working class people here in Los Angeles, here in this country, and around the world. Give it up for yourselves. I'd like to introduce our next speaker on the program.
They totally sound.
With the Palestinian Youth
They totally
Movement.
sound like
Please give a
fully
warm round
into
of
it.
applause.
They're like, yay!
Good afternoon, Los Angeles. My name is Rami. I'm an organizer with the Palestinian Youth Movement, a grassroots transnational organization made up of Palestinian and Arab youth organizing for the liberation of our homeland.
His name is Romy.
I'm here with you today to say, U.S. out of the Middle East, no war with Iran. Just 3 days ago, the United States and Israel launched a massive military offensive against Iran, killing Iranian leadership, including the Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei and his closest advisors, along with hundreds of Iranian civilians, including children, in a joint airstrike over Tehran.
Then they kind of deserve it.
This was not diplomacy. It was an act of war. This attack
Is
took
it
place
though?
even as Iran signaled openness to diplomatic talks to prevent escalation.
Did they?
It echoes last year's 12-day war and countless other instances where the U.S. and its allies have responded to diplomatic openings with violence. Just like in Venezuela, just like in Palestine, and now...
Funny how they keep bringing up Venezuela, but Venezuela was happy about it.
Violence and militarism. We know from over 2 years of genocide in Gaza that Israel and the
And what's her? What was that?
What Israel and the U.S.'s goals truly are: imperial domination and the theft of resources, creating a beaten down and oppressed people who cannot resist their barbarity. Israel's strikes have hit deep inside Iran, including a girls' elementary school where over 150 people were reportedly killed. A massacre that reverberates around the world. Shame! Israel and the U.S. are now dragging the entire region into wider war. Israel has expanded its assault beyond Iran, launching strikes deep into Lebanese territory, including its capital of Beirut. Lebanon is once again being turned into a battlefield as Israel broadens its military campaign, engulfing the region in even greater devastation. Shame! Let's be clear. This so-called defensive attack narrative that Israel and the U.S. are claiming ignores reality. It ignores the bodies of school children crushed under the rubble of Israeli missile strikes. It ignores the people in Tehran and other cities who have been killed or wounded in these bombardments. It ignores the suffering of the Palestinian, Yemeni, Lebanese, and Iranian people, and everyone living through violence every day at the hands of the U.S. and Israel. The same forces driving this war are rooted in a long history of denying nations their right to self-determination. The U.S. and its allies speak the language of democracy, yet repeatedly undermine the sovereignty of countries that refuse to submit to their political and economic control. That's right. Sanctions, coups, assassinations, military threats, these are tools used to weaken independent states and dictate their futures from afar. Iran, like Palestine, like so many nations before it, is being told that its independence is conditional, that its right to defend itself, to chart its own political path, to control its resources, exists only as long as it aligns with Western interests. That is not democracy. That is imperial domination. And here in Southern California, we the people are beginning to see this clearly. We are recognizing that a government willing to deny sovereignty
y'all drink the Kool-Aid, bro.
disregard the will of its own people at home. We see the connections between the struggle for self-determination overseas with the fight for justice and accountability right here. What we do abroad boomerangs back to impact us locally. The militarization of our streets, the surveillance and kidnapping of our community members. These are not separate from each other. So our demand today is clear. No war with Iran. No more assassinations. No more sanctions. No more military bases encircling nations. simply want to determine their own future. No more endless wars carried out in our name. The people of Iran have the right to sovereignty. The people of Palestine have the right to sovereignty. The people of Lebanon, of Yemen, of every nation facing U.S. interference have the right to chart their own political paths without threats, bombs, and economic strangulation. And if our government refuses to respect their sovereignty, then it is up to us, the people living in the center of this empire, to demand an end to these wars and an end to this imperial expansion. U.S. out of the Middle East, no war with Iran, and free Palestine. Free, free Palestine! Free Palestine! Occupation is a crime! Long live Palestine! Long live Palestine! Occupation is a crime! Occupation is a crime! No war on Iran! 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 That's right, make some noise for our last speaker from the Palestinian Youth Movement! And you have heard it so clearly stated that this is not simply a war on Iran. It has expanded to become a war on Gaza, a war on the entire Middle East. We've seen this war expand where Venezuela was attacked, bombed mercilessly in the middle of the night. This war has a home
Shame!
front in the
Shame!
numbers of people who were killed by federal agents, by local police. We've seen the murders of Keith Porter Jr., of Renee Nicole Good, of Alex Preddy.
I mean, they kind of put themselves in that position, didn't they? Because of the Democrats.
They defend mass murder abroad and they defend murder right here at home. And we're going to be the ones to stop it. Is that right? Are you going to commit to keep building that movement? All right. So let's keep the energy high. I want to welcome up our next speaker, Taiba, with Irvine Muslim activists, as well as with Iranians for Palestine. Please welcome Taiba.
Hi, how are you? I don't really have a speech prepared, and it was amazing listening to everybody, so I'm just going to speak from my heart. I'm an Iranian Muslim. I came here many, many years ago. I'm a refugee. I had to walk from my country, from Iran to Turkey, from Turkey to Italy, and from Italy to the United States of America. And so I'm a refugee. I have been displaced. And right now there are people in Iran that are being displaced, that they're being bombed. Whether we agree with the government or not, it is none of our business. It is up to the people of Iran to choose who their government is. This genocidal state that has killed more than 600,000 Palestinians has starved them on a daily basis, women and children that want to come into our country to liberate the women of Iran? No, you don't get to do that. You are hurting the women of Gaza. You are hurting the women of Palestine. You are taking their children away from them on a daily basis. You are killing them. Just the other day, my son, Bilal, who is Palestinian, my kids are half Palestinian, half Persian, came into my room. And he came to snuggle with me. And it's the month of Ramadan and we're fasting right after suhoor. And I said to him, imagine the children in Gaza right now. They do not have mothers to snuggle with. The mothers and fathers do not have their children to snuggle with. They're being bombed and starved every single day. So you know what? They don't get to tell the people of Iran or Venezuela or Cuba or anywhere. Our tax dollars need to stay here. Every single one of you work, and our tax dollars are paying for the bombs and the weapons and all the murder that's happening there. And you know what? We need to get involved. We have so many people here in the United States, veteran, homeless people that need our money.
Yeah, so maybe we should close our borders and maybe we should deport all the people.
From the river to the sea.
Jesus, this lady, oh my gosh. These people are so stupid.
Yeah, right. Isn't it odd how everyone forgot about 9/11?
Yep.
Quite interesting, huh? Oh, tons of people have been talking about this before the State of the Union. The State of the Union went nothing. I mean, it's been talked about for months that, you know, Iran was preparing to attack Israel, right? China's been giving them weaponry. They've been building missiles, 300 missiles a month. They've been preparing to attack. This was obviously started back when we nuked their nuclear sites, you know. That was supposed to end their ability to make nuclear weapons. That's what Midnight Hammer was for, right? That's what we were told. We were told it was nuking their ability to do it, and they weren't gonna ever be able to make a nuclear weapon ever again. Yeah, I kind of agree, Rich. I don't know if someone wrote his speech for him or what, but oh, we can actually watch that real quick. We ain't got nothing else better to do. And look, I love Matt Walsh. I love Matt Walsh. I think he's one of my favorite commentators out there. One of my favorite commentators out there, man. I agree with so much he says, but I agree with a little bit of what he says over here. The uncertainty, you know, we are running around in the dark. I do understand that. So, Leroy, thank you for the $5. Said Alex predicted 9/11 too?
Probably,
Yeah,
I
Alex
think
did
so.
a lot of predicting. He's got a lot of sources. That's really, that, you know.
That's why
he
you
definitely
need
does.
that Alex Jones was right charge.
Just, he kind of fell off a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know, man. And Sandra, thank you for the $5 on Cash App. Oh, it just says gift. Okay, thank you. Appreciate you. Wounds Are Us, thank you for the $20 on Rumble. How can this cost the midterms? Dems showed their ass already. American first is prosperity and safety.
How many
do we
Democrats
lose?
already
Stop listening to
won?
propaganda, mainstream media.
It's
That
like
includes Fox TV for stupid people.
they wouldn't.
Well, that's the problem.
Have
There's a
won
lot
if
of
that was the
stupid
case.
people out there who are easily influenced.
Yep.
Look how many people Nick Fuentes has following him. Tens of thousands of people watch him every night.
And then you have all those people that vote blue no matter
there's
who.
just a lot of stupid people out there. They're easily influenced.
The low
without
information
doing their own
voters.
research. Instead, what they'll do is listen to one person every day.
Yep.
And they'll just believe everything they say without doing their own research. And they'll follow them right off a fucking cliff. You know?
Yeah, unfortunately.
United States attacks Iran. Was this a smart move? Will the desert sand? Good riddance to them, as far as I'm concerned. Now, you wouldn't know it based on what you see on social media, especially X over the weekend, but there is actually a lane for people in this camp, in the camp that I'm in. There is a lane for people who are skeptical of military intervention and regime change wars, especially ones in the Middle East, but also aren't siding with the Iranian regime and actively rooting for America to fail. Not only does that lane exist in real life, but it's where I would estimate a great majority of normal Americans live. Now, with that in mind, I want to discuss this issue as fairly and objectively as I can. One thing we know for sure is that it is never more difficult to recognize the limits of what you know and to ask honest and good faith questions about what you don't know than it is during a once-in-a-generation war in which millions of lives, including American lives, can be potentially changed irreparably. It's not natural for a political commentator or a politician to admit this, but it's true. For decades, Democrats have pursued a policy of appeasing Iran on the theory that money and diplomatic concessions would forestall the development of a nuclear bomb. On the other hand, Republicans have been split between two factions: the neocon axis of evil hardliners who chant "bomb Iran" on the one hand, and the America First proponents on the other, many of whom voted for Donald Trump precisely because he promised to keep the United States out of needless regime change wars. Now, every single one of these factions at the moment has reason to be furious, and therefore they have an incentive to confuse the public about what's actually happening in Iran. Democrats didn't get their peace treaty where the mullahs and the supreme leader hold hands and announce that they'll never attempt to build a dirty bomb ever again. The neocons didn't get their full-scale ground invasion, complete with boots on the ground, a new democratic Iranian constitution drafted by the United States, and lucrative nation-building contracts, at least not yet. And many America First voters, myself included, are wondering how exactly the invasion of Iran will advance the interests of the United States. We should not do anything at all, anything, outside the borders of our country or within them, unless it will first and foremost benefit American citizens. And the benefit must be a net gain, which means the reward for Americans is greater than the cost we must pay to procure it. That has to be the deal, or whatever you're doing is a bad idea, with no exceptions. Is that...
What do y'all think about that? Do y'all think, where do we benefit from this war right now? What are we benefiting? I know what we're not benefiting from, and that is higher gas prices, the possibility of sleeper cells being activated, which means danger in our home over here.
Be right back, guys. I gotta go check on my ducks.
You know? What exactly are we getting? Now, there's a possibility that they had a nuclear weapon or they want to make a nuclear weapon that could possibly put us in danger. That's one benefit from it. But what's the other benefit from it? Right? If you are going to do something, it does have to benefit us. It does protect our ally, Israel. Israel is one of our biggest allies in the Middle East. Right? They help us a lot.
Started panicking because the light turned off on them.
They help us with intelligence a lot.
They're like,
they buy our weaponry with the money that we give them. They did steal nuclear weapons from us. Yeah. It's kind of hard to say.
At the case here? Well, other than a 3 a.m. address from Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago on Friday night, which broadly argued that Iran has been a threat to the United States for many decades, that case was not sufficiently made in the lead up to this operation. And I would say that it still has not been made.
China?
And it certainly hasn't been subjected to any kind of rigorous scrutiny. Now, you can make the argument that because the beginning of the war in Iran was a highly sensitive military operation involving classified intelligence that could change at a moment's notice, it's not prudent for the White House to lay out its case in detail ahead of time. After all, the president is the commander-in-chief of the military for a reason, and he's entitled to deference when it comes to national security. But there are two major problems with that argument. First of all, U.S. military deployments to the Persian Gulf over the past few weeks have been extensive and very obvious. So this was not a surprise attack or anything close to it. There's no reason why the president couldn't have addressed Congress, explained the status of the negotiations with Iran.
What are they screaming about now?
And so if that's the case, that means we need not just thousands, not just tens of thousands, but we need millions of people to join the anti-war movement, to stay in the streets, to tell the United States that we reject their war and their war in our name. Because when the people of the world rise up against war, we can be the decisive factor in stopping this war. Is that right? Trump wants to claim a quick and easy victory with this operation in Iran, but we will not let him do that. So that means each and every one of you, and not just each and every one of you, but all of your friends, your family members, your co-workers, your peers, your classmates, we all need to be back in the streets this Saturday for the National Day of Action. Who's going to
Like,
be
how
there?
about no? I have better things to do than go protest. Like, I got bills to pay, lady. Like, I ain't got time for you. So this is from CNN. I wanted to add it so you guys could see what's going on. But this says Iran attack live explosion Dubai Palm. turns into fireball U.S. attack. So I was like, what the heck? That's crazy. Let me see if I can find any other thing that's going on.
There's a fire! Kareem, we need to go.
There's problem. جندي ده جو عالي. صور يا عم انت رافض كده.
Oh my God.
Sounds like there is one here. Yep.
Do you see anything else?
There's problem. جندي ده جو عالي. صور يا عم انت رافض كده.
So it looks like there's some construction going on. So let me go ahead and do that video instead.
هلا شخصية دارس دي ها ربك تعال ها
يلا فلا امشي بقى شوف لي قدام مشي ويحكي
Super giunti.
That's crazy though. Imagine living in a place like this. Like, you know, I don't know if you guys ever saw that video, but there was a video going around. Let me see if I can find it. But there's a video going around of this little girl celebrating her birthday, right? And it was showing like how she lives and everything. And then all of a sudden, like there was like alerts going off, and then they were running, and then all of a sudden, like day by day or months by month, how it was changing, and it went all the way full circle to her birthday, where she looked like now living in a chaotic world. And honestly, I can't imagine living in a world like that. It'd be crazy to have to experience that. So I do feel for the people that are experiencing this, but at the same time, it's like these are the same people that were cheering it on because, they were happy that the person, that Ayatollah or whatever, got murked because now they're free from this chaos that they were living in and persecution. So like a double-edged sword, I guess. So yeah, but nothing else seems to be going on. I'm trying to see if there's anybody that actually went down to to go protest at ICE, but right now, I mean, this whole thing with Iran is taking center stage.
President Trump wants to talk to Iran's leadership. If only he could find someone his strikes didn't kill. The U.S. military snuffing out 49 of their top officials, so it's no wonder.
So we were watching basically just the Fox News, the 5 Trump's next step in Iran. So we're just gonna go ahead and listen to that.
Wonder why Trump says Epic Fury is already ahead of schedule.
We have the strongest and most powerful by far military in the world, and we will easily prevail. We're already substantially ahead of our time projections. We projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that. We'll do it. We also projected 4 weeks to terminate the military leadership, and as you know, that was done in about an hour, so we're ahead of schedule there.
And the president telling ABC, quote, the attack was so successful it knocked out most of the candidates. It's not going to be anybody that we were thinking of because they are all dead. Second or third place is dead. God bless you, Dana.
Thank you. Sorry. Very unusual on TV.
So the president speaking to reporters today, what did you think of that?
So I think he is the most transparent president, right? He's willing to talk to just about everybody. And every hour you could refresh the news, maybe even half an hour, and go, now he said this, now he said that. So if you put it all together, you think, okay, so one of the things that he is definitely saying is that he is trying to give the people an idea for when it might end. So the first questions from the press is, how long is this going to go on? Okay, you know what? We're 58 hours into this. Can we just take a minute, take a beat? And what he's trying to say is, I think he's actually probably doing too much and trying to say, well, we're ahead of schedule here, but how long will that last? I don't know. But he's trying about a month. We'll see a few weeks. I don't know. It's not going to be in the next day. Okay. And I think one of the things that happened, listening to Call Me Back this morning, was amazing. They had a military expert on And he said that one of the things that the Israelis had learned to do, and possibly our intelligence as well, is they were following the bodyguards of each of the members that were meeting there. So that's how they knew where they were. And the decision to just always underestimate the enemy. So that's what Iran constantly underestimates their adversaries. So they never thought they would strike in the daytime. They never thought they would strike on the Sabbath. They had all of their things in their minds saying, we'll be safe if we all get together for brunch. And they all went. Now, was there a Delcy Rodriguez, like in Venezuela, in that group of 49? That's what the president's indicating, that there might have been 2 or 3, but now that's not an option. So I think that the next points for him would be outline the history. Okay, so Charlie and I, again, we're like the oldest ones here. It's like, I remember the Ayatollah, when right during the Reagan administration, I was terrified of this guy. And I thought, Ronald Reagan will protect me. Why? And then walk people through it. Take time. People will listen to the president. So he has time to explain the history, and I think that's really important. And that includes more recent history, like, for example, roadside bombs that were material that was purchased from Iran and ended up in the Gulf War. I think he has to outline the threats as they are coming, but also show our new allies and how Iran decided to turn on all of its neighbors at once and destroy beautiful hotels that the Emiratis had built. And everybody in those Gulf states are saying, we want a better life. I think President Trump continues to talk about the competence of our military. I think that helps a lot. And then I would hammer the Democrats on the Department of Homeland Security still being shut down. There's no need for it. ICE is not going to be abolished. Get to the table, get the people who work at TSA and everybody at Homeland Security, just put this behind you, let it go, and let the Department of Homeland Security move forward. There's a hearing tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with Kristi Noem. That would be a good opportunity to announce it.
Your name was invoked as a wise one, Charlie.
We're in trouble.
So you've heard from the president, you've heard from Secretary of War, you've heard from Chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff. Do you think that they've communicated effectively? And Rubio?
I think they have. Obviously, it's in that sort of bumptious way that somebody who is as wide open as the president in this administration is, where they are constantly talking. And I think it confuses some people because you lose focus. The focus of this is to eliminate the nuclear threat from Iran. That's what the focus of this is. That doesn't mean you can't make a really good case for all the other reasons why we should hate these people, the people that have the regime, the Iranian regime. And I think what you said, Dana, is great about, like, go through every single U.S. service member who has stepped on an IED, who has been hit by a missile that was built or flown by Iran or their proxies. Do that list. Have a press conference about it. I do think, and something you said, Joey, earlier that I think is really important. This is a 100-year sort of decision as opposed to a 4-year decision. And of course, this goes back to Trump 1.0 when he did the Abraham Accords. And like, nobody's talking about this, but I think it's a really, really important thing. The only reason that we are sitting here with these other 7 countries in the Middle East on our side right now is because of the Abraham Accords, because of the inroads the president has made to try to take the Middle East, which has been an unsolvable Gordian knot for decades, and said, look, we prefer commerce over chaos. Let's figure this out. And everybody's come to the table except Iran. And in fact, every time Saudi Arabia is like, yeah, well, maybe we'll normalize relations, then you have October 7th because Iran doesn't want it to happen. Right. And I think that long game negotiation, even down to the thing where he's telling Iran, look, we will give you nuclear fuel for life if you just come to this agreement. And they're like, yeah, no, we don't think we want to do that. And then he's like, okay, well, then send them in.
Right. Yeah, that's when they weren't negotiating in good faith. Jessica?
So no tears shed, and anyone who's writing even a slightly positive editorial about the Ayatollah or anyone who has been running Iran should, I don't want to say lose your jobs, but you look really stupid. These are the largest state sponsor of terrorism in the world. They have killed hundreds, if not thousands of Americans, let alone other people across the world. I think everyone who is defending them on the kind of grounds that they're not as bad as you would have thought, it seems completely ridiculous at this point. We do have a new set of allies. I think more allies is always better than less allies. I have talked about this from Trump 1.0 into Trump 2.0. The Abraham Accords, I think, is, for me, probably his seminal foreign policy achievement. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a really good thing. I hate seeing, though, like the UK, France, Spain, other countries that stood with us when, for instance, we were going to go into Iraq and Afghanistan, saying this is an illegal war. You know, we don't want to have anything to do with this. And maybe I want too much, but I would like everybody to try to be on the same page if this is a just action and it is going to bring better economic outcomes for sure, peace and prosperity, and hopefully freedom for the Iranian people, which I know everybody wants. I hope that there is still a diplomatic solution on the table. The Omanis are saying that they were close. I understand it is in their best interest to say that. If there can be an even better nuclear deal, let's get back to the table and make sure that that's possible. We are spending a lot of money. We are tragically losing American lives, brave people who are fighting for us. And our allies in the Gulf, they need more from us. It's going to cost a lot, and those are the kinds of things that hit people back at home. And you better believe that people who are against this, and certainly the regime change aspect, are going to be saying they're not focused on your health care. They're not focused on your cost of living. We're spending hundreds of billions of dollars in a war that means nothing for your life.
Jessica,
real
says
quick,
go back to the negotiating table.
Yeah, here's the negotiation. It's going to look like Japan on the aircraft carrier after World War II. That's the negotiation. We've lost 6 heroes. The nuclear deal is we take all your fissile material and we might sell you a reactor to make some power with. That's the only acceptable nuclear deal after this. Regardless if you believe in this war or not, we've made it this far. To let your foot off the throttle now, it just would be, you can make half the country mad. Doing that would make the other half mad. Everybody's mad. That's all you would do. I don't accept that. I think everybody misunderstands this. When we talk about regime change and what happens next, I don't think President Trump said, let's invest in this guy, he can run the country and we can work with him. That's the bad policy. That's the policy that's ruined us since the 60s. That's the policy that got us into this problem with Iran to begin with. The policy is whoever's strong enough to take the reins and understands we will kill him if he doesn't work with us, that's who we're going to work with. And that's as much as it needs to be. I don't know if Iran gets a free and prosperous government or not. As long as they don't get one that chants death to America and death to Israel and tries to create missiles for Russia and China and works with our enemies more than us, after that, that's what I'm concerned about. And if that makes me, America first too much, that's okay. But that's where my concern is. And honestly, I think that's the most pragmatic view. And I think that's the view of the Trump administration.
All right. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe.
Yeah, that's... It's, I don't know, like, I feel like this whole situation is so out of control right now, and who knows how Trump's going to handle it. And I'm pretty sure, he went in thinking that it was going to be like Venezuela, where it's going to just be really easy, go in, go out, no worries or anything like that. And yeah, that's not what happened here, it just turned it into a total ish show. So, yeah, that's how that goes with that situation, But I have this from CNN, attack on U.S. Embassy, drone strikes, Americans depart now. So let's go ahead and listen to this.
At the very least, Iran will emerge much weaker, much less of a menace to its neighbors. That doesn't mean I believe it's going to become a Jeffersonian democracy. I'm not sure that you're going to find an Iranian Delcy Rodriguez. But the Iranian threat will probably be a good deal less after this conflict than before. But nevertheless, I would say after Iraq, we should all be fairly wary of starting preventative wars based on nebulous intelligence with a goal of regime change.
You bring up Iraq, though, but even Iraq, the process was actually dramatically more transparent. President Bush went to the UN in 2002. Congress authorized Bush to use force in October 2002. The president addressed the nation in March 2003 and formed a coalition of the willing of dozens of countries before going into
negotiate. We tried. They wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. Again, they wanted to do it. They said, he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. This was our last best chance to strike. We more and more are not wanting to be the policemen of the world. An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat. She would get us into World War III. They're drafting you to go and fight in some country that I've never heard. We may have casualties. That often happens in war. Sadly, there will likely be more.
Dr. West, this is a president who has used his opposition to past wars as a political tool, but here he is.
Yeah, I think, again, it's just so sad because you see, Brother Trump, he is a gangster. And a gangster has a mentality that views himself as never accountable, never vincible,
Can you
never
imagine,
answerable, and
like,
therefore never
Trump walking
responsible. So
around
there's a
with,
sense
like,
in which
gangster rap
we
music?
shouldn't focus just on him. He's got enablers. He's got supporters.
Or that one thing that they
And
like
it's
to
a
play where it goes,
sign.
dun,
I'm thinking
dun,
we're going
dun,
to put Brother
dun,
Jesse
dun, dun.
in the grave in the next few days, Jesse Jackson. And, Martin and Jesse talked about just how spiritually sick and morally decrepit and politically corrupt the country has become. And it's not a function of skin pigmentation, or gender, or region. It is a spiritual crisis of tremendous depth where cruelty, manipulation, and transaction is the way to live, and talking about truth and justice and integrity is pushed to the margins. And there's a sense in which when we see this, we have to keep track of that moral and spiritual dimension alongside all of the political debate and partisanship and talking points and so forth and so on. But people know in the barbershops and beauty salons that the country is in deep spiritual crisis. And if we don't talk about it and accent it, and especially to our young people, let them know Martin King and others, Rabbi Heschels and the Edward Zaids and the Dorothy Days, they provide better examples. The Justice Harlans
Both sides of the
provide better
political
examples.
aisle have been exhausted by the United States engaging in conflicts for a while now. And now we're hearing it coming from MAGA. Here is the Blackwater founder, Eric Prince, a major Trump supporter. He's no scaredy cat when it comes to wars. Here's what he's saying about this one.
I'm not happy about the whole thing. I don't think this was in America's interest. It's going to uncork a significant can of worms and chaos and destruction in Iran now. I don't see how this is in keeping with the president's MAGA commitment. I'm disappointed.
And he's not the only one. And
Yeah,
so
I highly doubt that.
The majority of Republicans support the president, although it's less
I
than support
think
him on a lot of other
that
issues.
a lot
How
of
long
the
will that continue?
MAGA will agree with him. Now,
Republicans support the president's judgment, particularly on
do you
Iran.
have
He's
like
always
some
said good
crazy
things on this.
down
He's always
Trump
been very
supporters? Yes.
consistent on this, that he would never allow
Do you have
something
some
to
that
go
are
forward.
on
In
the
fact,
fence that are
while we're on the
still
air, Steve Witkoff
MAGA?
is over
Sure.
on Fox News saying
Then you
the
have like
Iranians, quote, clearly,
neocons, you
quote, "We have
have
enough material
like
for 11 nuclear
people that are
bombs,"
crazy
and that is our
right,
starting point.
and
That's what
some that are more
the Iranian
center.
negotiators were telling Steve Witkoff, and he
Honestly,
calls back
like,
to the president and says,
I don't think my guy
they're
had an
saying our
opinion
starting
on,
point is we have enough nuclear
the
material
war
for
or
11
whatever.
nuclear
Like,
bombs.
he just watched
Obviously, the
like,
president has consistently over
the
the years
shelling,
said,
and he was just like, oh,
that's not
okay.
acceptable to me.
Like,
So,
it
he never hit
made
the
no
ball on this,
difference
and
to
so
him.
people who are criticizing him over it,
I think he was
honestly,
more
were you not listening
concerned
to him for
with
years and years and years when
all
he
the
said
illegals that are
repeatedly,
here than
no
he is about
nuclear
what's going on in
weapons?
Iran. And I think that's how a lot of Trump supporters kind of feel. Now, do they now?
8 months ago. I mean,
They like Trump because of the fact that he wasn't, that war kind of guy. He wasn't a rhino. He wasn't pro-war and stuff like that. Again, I think he just thought that it was going to go as simple as Venezuela, and it didn't. And I think now he realizes he put himself in a pickle.
Abby, that Trump says a
So
lot of
I
things
always
which
think
are
like
contradictory, because on the
people
one
on the
hand,
left
right,
or like,
IS said
this chick
Iran is
on
not gonna
here,
go nuclear,
they like to
but
try
the
and
intro
say,
was
oh,
also
I
correct.
found
It
the
was showing
one
him
Trump
saying,
supporter
we're not gonna
that's
start
totally
new wars,
against
we're gonna
Trump. And
end
it's like,
wars.
nah, I
We're
don't
not gonna
think that's how
engage
that
in wars
works.
or regime change. In
I
other
think the
words,
majority of
he
them
said
are
both
still
things
down
are
with him
contradictory.
because
They don't
he's still a
add
better
up.
choice
And basically,
than whatever
any
the left's
attempt to
offering,
try to
in my opinion.
make Trump conform to some
Sorry,
doctrine
guys, my
or to
allergies are acting
impose
up.
some kind of consistency or ideology on him is going to fail. He has followers, MAGA followers, who are consistent in their ideology. They want to stay out of these wars. Trump is not. He basically reserves the right to change his mind, 5 times an hour. He says one thing, does another thing. He changes his mind, does something else. And in the case of military action, what I've seen happen is he seems to have become more and more enamored of military action. He saw the success of the Soleimani strike. He saw the success of the June strike on Iran. He saw the success of the operation to seize Maduro in Venezuela. He's he's now overjoyed. He thinks that the U.S. military cannot be stopped. We're invincible. He can do anything he wants. And my concern is this is leading to the same kind of hubris that led us into the Iraq War, because the U.S. military, while it is very tactically proficient,
I think it's a
cannot
little
transform
different
the Middle East. It doesn't have
because
the capacity to transform Iran or any other country. That's what
you
we've
kind of got a
discovered
lead up
over the
to it,
last
and you
20
already
years.
knew that this was going to
Thanks for
happen.
us.
But for this
The
one, yeah, I
president says
don't
the war in Iran
think
could
that
last
he
a
was
month or
thinking
longer. We'll head to the maps.
that
Take
he
a look at what
wanted to go to
happens
war. He was
next.
just trying to kind of end it pretty quickly. So I think they just like to blow like smoke up your butt and fearmonger and try and push this whole ideology of just agree with us. Trump is bad. Come to our side. We have free cookies. You know, it's like, no, that's not how that works. Like, are you going to have people that are going to be against the war that are on the right? Absolutely. And they're going to make their voices known to Trump. But if it's done correctly, because we still haven't seen what the actual aftermath is. So I think once we give him a chance and see, is this going to become a forever war, or is this something where he's just going to be in and out? I think that's what's going to make the difference. I don't think that we should just be jumping the gun and saying like, oh yeah, we're going to war. Everybody, you're going to be drafted. Oh my God. You know, like, I think everybody needs to chill out and just kind of watch and see what happens, you know? But that's just my opinion.
People that you saw in that clip are all convinced that it's not a war, because that would mean that they would have had to have done their job beforehand to authorize this. But it does seem like we're in a war, because we're talking 4 to 5 weeks, and we took out the leader of a nation.
Yeah, when you're
Yeah,
dropping
but
bombs on a
at the
country
same
and telling
time,
your leader, you
like
are at
every
war.
time they
Of course,
picked the
Iran is
leader,
saying
we were
that.
like,
So
nuke,
obviously we are at war. I
nuke,
mean, there's just so many dumb
nuke.
talking points going
We're
around
like, we're going to keep
about
doing
what's
this
going on,
and
but
murking people
clearly we're
until
at war.
you
One of the
actually
public
pick
things
someone
about
we
this
like.
conflict, I think, is the fact that President Trump made
Like,
no effort to
that's
explain to Congress
hilarious to
or the
me, you
American
know?
people why we're going to war, or to build a case for the war, which was supported by only 20% of the public to begin with. There was no congressional authorization. Now you can argue there have been plenty of
You
uses of
don't
force in
need
the
that.
past where presidents have
And
used
that's the
force
thing that a lot of
without
these
congressional
people like to say
authorization.
is like,
But in this
oh, he
case,
needs
there was
congressional
no time element. There
authorization,
was no
but
imminent threat, as we've
he
established.
actually
This is a war
doesn't,
of
because other
resistance
presidents
movements.
have done
It's
that
sold that way
as
sometimes
well.
by the
So
administration.
it's
But this
like
is the kind of
stupid that
thing
they
that
like to
really
say that,
the
oh, it's
American people
required,
and
it's
the
required,
American
when
elected
in
representatives
reality it
should
is
have had
not
a chance to
required.
weigh in, and they haven't. Now, all that said, Abby, I would add, that doesn't
I
mean
just think
even
that
I
they're
think
just
the
trying
war
to
was
make
unwarranted. I think
excuses
it's
to
unauthorized.
as to
That doesn't mean it's
why
going to be a
they're,
disaster.
I
There could
guess,
still be
doing what they're
positive benefits
doing.
that come out of it. At
And
the
just,
very
you
least, I
know,
think
that
it will
whole
degrade
Trump's
the
bad,
Iranian
Trump's
threat.
bad, you
At the
know?
very least, Iran will
Like,
emerge
that's how they
much
like to
weaker, much
view
less
in
of a
this
menace
whole
to its neighbors.
situation.
That doesn't mean I believe it's going to become a
Now, it's
Jeffersonian
funny
democracy.
is that
I'm not sure
since
that you're going to find an
Paramount,
Iranian Delcy
I
Rodriguez,
believe, bought
but the Iranian threat will probably
CNN,
be going
it's
to be
going to be
less
funny to
after this
see
conflict than before. But
how these
nevertheless,
people are going to
I would say
handle
after
being
Iraq, we
leashed
should all be
themselves,
fairly
you know?
wary of starting preventative war
That part
based
is
on
what I'm
U.S.
waiting for,
intelligence with the
to see
goal of
how
resistance.
that
Bring up Iraq, though, but
happens
even Iraq, the
and,
process
you know,
was
being
actually
muzzled
dramatically more
or
transparent.
no longer being able
President
to
Bush
have
went
your
to the UN
TDS
in
on
2002.
display.
Congress authorized Bush to use force in October 2002. The president addressed the nation in March 2003 and formed a coalition of the willing of dozens of countries before going into this. Right now, we are in this with Israel. The president has yet to speak to really address the nation on this topic since this war started.
Well, the Gulf states are with us, and we have lots of allies with supportive statements. We are in it militarily with Israel. There are some indications that some of the Gulf states that Iran has been attacking may join in, and so we'll see what happens.
They're defending themselves right now.
Yeah,
but,
and they
but
should.
in terms of the
but
coalition,
they support what the United States is doing. Is the point? So we're not just here with Israel and without any other political support or rhetorical support. That's number one. Number two, the president did release 2 statements over the weekend. Number 3, the Congress, I think, is going to debate
on social media
and vote. So is that?
Yeah, I mean,
is that a problem?
Look, I think it is a problem that the president hasn't gone. You know, he hasn't given a press conference. He hasn't. You know, he hasn't really laid out fully what the strategy is. He's given probably over a dozen interviews over the last 2 days, and he's said contradictory things in almost every single interview. So there is a missing piece. what is contradictory? Contradictory is saying one thing in one interview and
No,
another.
what? Give me an example. I
He
mean,
said, we want regime change, we don't want regime change. He said, we know the people that were going to replace the Ayatollah. Then he said, we killed the people who replaced the Ayatollah, so we don't know them. He said, we want the people of Iran to rise up and free themselves and fight the regime. And then he said, we're happy to work with the regime remnants if somebody emerges
He
from the
said
rubble.
that this could be open for a major uptick in attacks in Iran in the coming hours. CNN national security analyst Alex Pleistis is here with us at the Magic Wall to break it all down. So, Alex, Iran has been firing back. What are their capabilities at this stage?
So they're really relying right now heavily on two things. They're relying on drones and they're relying on their ballistic missiles. So if we take a look at what they have, they've got at the beginning of the onset of this conflict, going back to earlier this weekend, they had about, as we're looking at here, these range missiles. The short range missiles here, which would hit the Gulf states, we probably had something along the lines of 6,000 to 8,000 of those, and probably 2,000 to 3,000 medium range ballistic missiles, which are capable of striking Israel.
Right. And what about their decision to strike these neighboring states? I mean, we've seen attacks in Bahrain, UAE. These are major, economic hubs in the region. Why did they decide to do that?
It was, I believe, a fool.
Yeah, they're just going on, yada, yada, yada. Like, I figure we'll just watch this because this is a live cam on Dubai burning as Iran's deadliest missiles rain. Dang. Dude, that's crazy. You know what this reminds me of, guys? Like, okay, so when 9/11 happened at the time, I was preggers and I was like at my mom's house, and all of a sudden on the news I saw, my aunt. I walked into the living room and she was watching TV, and I was like, and I saw something like this, where I was just like, whoa, that's crazy, and I'm thinking she's watching a movie. I was like, dude, what movie is this? That the graphics look awesome. And she looked at me like shook. And she's like, I'm not watching a movie. This is happening live now in New York. I was like, what? Bro, I was just tripping. But yeah, this is nuts what's happening here. Now, if any of you guys speak their language, let us know what they're saying in the comments. I'm pretty sure that's not a good thing that they're saying. I'm pretty sure they're saying like they're happy that this happened.
Там какой-то огонь. Там что-то прям за буршем сейчас загорелось. И очень сильный взрыв был. Demedim burayı vuracak.
Wow, so that went silent. That's crazy. But yeah, look at all that smoke, dude. That's just like, I can't, like I said, guys, I can't imagine living in a world like that because I would just be tripping, seeing that. I swear to God, if I heard that go off in my area, I'd be thinking like, holy ish, we need to grab our stuff. It's the purge. I wouldn't even be thinking anything else because that's what it sounds like. That or a tornado. I'm pretty sure they probably have different alarms for different things, but yeah. That's so crazy. Look at the smoke, the way it's billowing. Especially nowadays, like, we have cameras, so, a lot of people are probably, like, recording this on their phones. And then if they did, like, an internet outage, you're not going to even know that this is going on or how bad it's really going to get. Crazy. Now, me, I'd be the type of person that would probably want to drive over to see it even closer, but that's because I'm that person that would run after a tornado, probably run towards aliens. Not zombies though, guys. Zombies I'd run away from, okay? Because y'all know I don't like zombies. They'd get murked, you know, but I don't like zombies. But I think everything else I'd run towards. Dude, that's still so crazy. Holy crap.
Damn.
Wow. That's some craziness going on right there. What's funny is that there was a rumor that they were going to attack us on Easter, which kind of coincides with, you know, what they were talking about, how there's sleeper cells here in America. I'm not surprised. Like I told you guys, they left the border wide open. Why wouldn't we have sleeper cells from every enemy, you know? And if they have us fighting on our fronts like the way they do now. Hey, what's up, E7Y? Nothing much, just kind of watching all these explosions. I'm trying to catch up on everything that happened over the weekend. Crazy. Dude, holy crap. Now, I love me some good action movies. So if I was driving by and I didn't know we were getting bombed and I just saw an explosion like that, I would be thinking they were doing a movie. So nuts. Now, I wonder if Iran is going to try and strike America. Like, they would have to have some balls to do that. Like, we thought we were invincible, and then 9/11 happened, and it kind of proved us wrong. So, if they do this to us, like, we'd be screwed. And right now, our country's fractured, so who knows if we will side with each other or if the people on the left are going to side with the enemies. Wow. That's nuts.
ये दो मिसाइल आ रहे हैं जनाब कतर एयरबेस की तरफ से अभी देखते हैं इधर से वो आ रहा है सामने ईरान का मिसाइल ये चांद के आसपास ईरान का मिसाइल है और दो एयर डिफेंस जो हैं वो ये क्रॉस कर लिया है ये सीधा जा रहा है इंशाअल्लाह ताला बजेगा इस दफा बजेगा इंशाअल्लाह अल्लाह अकबर इंशाअल्लाह सही लगेगा इंशाअल्लाह मिस हो जा इंशाअल्लाह मिस हो गया ये अल्लाह अकबर सीधा जा लगा अल्लाह अकबर
I'm pretty sure that he's basically cheering this on. That's just some craziness,
शायद
though.
कोई और भी आ रहा होगा नहीं अभी तक तो
Просто в небе какой-то этот, что-то горело, смотри. Там какой-то огонь.
I'm just on here doom scrolling, looking up all these different, like, scenes that are showing, like, stuff exploding. It's just so insane to me to see this happen, you know? Look at that. That's crazy.
תפילה של החיים. יו, 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 יו.
Crazy.
יו, 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 יו.
And then I hear that they're doing stuff to us, like, or they're trying to, in other locations, like hitting our embassy. That is also insane. Like, let me show you guys real quick. Because, like, I was thinking all this was crazy, but it, like, man, it got crazier.
We talk about sometimes the fog of war kind of about this, and maybe that is what unfortunately happened in that situation. And not only what is used in this conflict, but where they are using it. I want to put this up here as well. Jennifer Griffin says the U.S. Embassy in Riyadh empty at the time of Iranian drone strike, saying no injuries. But in terms of what the United States is targeting, talking about ballistic missiles, nuclear capabilities, is there anything in your mind of what we're seeing in terms of those targets, over 1,000 already being struck right now, that signals a strategy from the United States?
Right. Well, I think the reports and the statements by administration officials, Secretary Rubio, for instance, this evening, look, first they went in and suppressed the air defenses. Got to get that done so that you can do everything else. Now they say they've established air supremacy. That's good. That means that you can drop gravity bombs with impunity. And you don't have to have that standoff capability that reduces the risk to pilots to do their jobs. And then obviously they're trying to hit the
imagine getting hit with a gravity bomb.
The
That's
ballistic
crazy.
missile apparatus. And actually that was the really interesting part of what Secretary Rubio said that was pretty blunt, is the production rates of missiles that have production rates of missiles like 100 a month or something like that, and of various drones that is just needed to be stemmed, fundamentally needed to be stemmed. And I think that's kind of the urgent reality here that hasn't really quite been emphasized enough, is time was not on our side. That time seemingly was on the side of the Iranians. Last summer, over the course of a long weekend, they fired hundreds and hundreds of missiles at Israel and the United States. And we had to expend many, many missile defense interceptors just to play catch temporarily, as it were, for those things. That is an unsustainable situation. And so I think what you're seeing here is we've kind of had enough. We're not going to take it anymore. And Israel can't afford to continue to do this. We can't afford to continue this. So frankly, I think we're kind of backed into the need to take this offensive operation to, no kidding, dismantle and fundamentally degrade their missile capability. So they just stop doing this.
Okay. This has been a fun night. It's been crazy, like video after video, explosion after explosion. We went from protests to friggin' watching stuff getting blown up like crazy. I just can't even understand what's going to come tomorrow. So with that, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I go live to bring you this crazy chaos. And also, don't forget, it's the same bat time, same bat channel. Have a good one, guys.
Time's up, my little heathens. Harley's gotta cause more trouble. Thanks for the chaos.